guys. That's how we start our meeting. So I was already we are on the offensive. So which direction must the chair take? To fight, to retaliate, or for us to have a good meeting? That was on a lighter note. Honorable members, in front of you, you have our program or our agenda. Opening and welcome remarks, attendance, introduction, confirmation of the agenda, report back on intermodal facility by the Department of Transport and Community Safety, the Honorable MEC, report back on Mphephu by the department also, and by the entity GAL, deliberations and discussions. Maybe let me also put a rider that MEC, this meeting is not envisaged to take a very long time. We're not going to be here until the sun breaks at midday. This is a very progressive, it should be a very progressive and effective feedback meeting where we have tangible timelines, where we know where you are, MEC, what is your plans, where are you going? What am I saying? I'm saying let's stick to the terms of references of what is on the agenda. And if things are not done, let's not try to be the ad hoc committee. No, this is the portfolio committee. Answer to what you know, answer to what you understand, and let's continue with our meeting on behalf of the people of the province of Limpopo, without any waste of time. But before I could allow somebody to move for the adoption of this agenda, colleagues, MEC, after item number 6.2, well, item number 7 will be a brief HOD with regards to the hideous accidents we've seen on our roads in the province. I believe that members of the portfolio committee should know what's happening in the province, what are the challenges. We need to hear it firsthand, so members of the portfolio committee don't hear it from media releases and interviews and that. And that will be item 7. Then deliberations and discussions will be item 8. Item 9 will therefore be closure. This meeting will not move more than 60 minutes mark, but that will be determined by the level of discussion, the level of how the responses that we receive from yourselves, colleagues. Mankwana, could you move for the adoption? Thank you very much, Honorable Nanguda. Thank you very much. Do we have any apologies, Mpule?
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. The committee received an apology from Honorable Thohoyandou and Honorable Thohoyandou. From the entity GAL, the committee received a letter for non-attendance of the Board of Directors. Thanks, Chairperson.
Non-attendance of
The Board of Directors.
all of them,
They sent
the list. Because I know there's a board of director here seated next to the CEO, Advocate Lampani. Is that correct?
through you, Chairperson, can I read the letter? The
Yes,
above
please.
matters best reference is from GAL. Letter of apology for non-attendance of the portfolio committee meeting to be held on 17 October 2025. The above matters bears reference. The entities notifying the portfolio committee about non-availability of GAL board members for committee meeting scheduled for the 17th of October due to prior commitments. The following board members are not available to attend the meeting. Mr. Gava, Chairperson of the board, Mr. E. Ramutanda, Mr. S. Maharaj, Mr. N. Mangena, Dr. N. Skiepers, Mrs. S. Payani Shakani, Mrs. S. Mavilani. The board thus will be represented by Advocate Lambani. Thanks.
It's fine. Why, on top of this apologies, MEC, unless if I'm missing something, there are names that I'm hearing for the first time. So if maybe you could also, as and when you address us on the issues of the road canals, let's talk about issues of the board. Then that will be item 7. It will just be your item, MEC. brief us on the board and also brief us on the accidents. Akere Tate Machena. And yes, I believe you also have an apology for us.
Other honourable members, yes, I do have apologies. I am Chantal from the Committee Coordinator, Portfolio Committee, Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure. We have conflicting committee meetings as we speak. We have 4 members that sit on the Coxter Committee, which is having a meeting as we speak. So you would notice that some members who also sit in the Transport Committee are not here. Honourable Helm is not here, Honourable Machumani, but they will move into this meeting shortly. Honourable Mphephu, the chairperson for the committee, he is travelling to Cape Town for official commitments. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members and staff. My name is Tikeledi Shadung, committee member of SCOPA, committee coordinator of SCOPA. I here to render an apology of our chairperson for SCOPA, Honorable Mokwele. She's not feeling well, so she will be able to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, kindly introduce yourselves to Team Transport, led by the Honourable MEC.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, MEC and your team. My name is Christina Mohale, a member of this portfolio committee.
Chair and honourable members, my name is Manama Rogers, a member of this committee.
Dumacharo, I'm Doran Nengut, a member of this portfolio committee. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Is Junan Baloi a member of this portfolio committee?
Blessed morning, colleagues. My name is Honorable Shai, member of this committee.
Thank you very much. Support staff.
Good morning, Mapula Sekgota, committee support staff.
Good morning, my name is Dilakane Pasha, the researcher for the committee.
Good morning, my name is Taviso Tansa from Protocol Services.
Good morning, my name is Kathy Mamabolo, the legal advisor.
Morning, Maulane Chitsibe, Communication Services.
Good morning, Khwatla James IT.
Good morning, my name is Susan Malungana from the ANC Party Caucus.
Tovela Justice Khwali, committee support staff. Thank you.
Are you done, colleagues?
Good morning, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, Honourable MEC and team. My name is Rikus Roots. I'm the researcher for the Freedom Front Plus. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Honourable Helm, just switch on your mic and quickly introduce yourself before we take it to the department.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. My apologies for being late. Mari Helm, I'm a member of this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Helm. You are not late. We also noted that you were in another portfolio committee. Honourable MEC, kindly introduce yourself and the team.
Thanks, Honourable Chairperson. Good morning to the entire portfolio committee and the officials from the legislature, and also greetings to the team Transport and GAL. My name is Mathieu Susan Violet, the MEC for Transport and Community Safety. Thanks.
Good morning, Chairperson and honorable members, MEC. My name is Majana Masilu Stephen, the HOD of the Department of Transport and Community Safety. Thank you very much.
colleagues. My name is Mahadi Matli. I'm the CEO for GAL.
Good morning, Chairperson and MEC and honorable members. My name is Edward Rambani. I'm the member of the board of GAL.
Good morning, Chairperson, MEC, and all honorable. My name is Tivafon Ravele from Bembe District, Department of Transport and Community Safety.
Honorable Chairperson, members, MEC, HOD, board member of GAL, colleagues, my name is Jeff Kulwani, CFO of GAL.
Good morning, Chairperson and honorable members, MEC and colleagues. My name is Ubang Kanyani. I'm the Chief Director responsible for GTO, Transport Infrastructure and District Coordination. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, honorable members of the Portfolio Committee, honorable MEC and the colleagues. My name, I'm Lucas Solora, representing the Independent Development Trust, known as the IDT, the implementing agent for Intermodal.
Good morning, my name is Mphephu from Department of Transport, MEC Support.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. My name is Kanyisa Makamu, the Performance Information Officer at GAL. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and honorable members, my MEC and my colleague. My name is Tsepara Mukhopa, Commercial Service from GAL.
Good morning, I'm Khaba Sabola, Company Secretary from GAL. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson, members of your committee, MEC, HOD, and all team members. My name is Intermodal, Director responsible for records and facilities management in the Department of Transport and Safety.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nolita. My surname is Klu. I'm from GAL, from HR. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Chairperson, MEC. My name is Christian Mutweni, Operations from GAL. Thank you.
Absheni, Kina Thabo Marabani, working in the MEC's office. Thank you.
Absheni, Viton Bomba Maleana, MEC support staff. Go.
Absheni, my name is Winnie Adelaide Ngobeni from the office.
Thank you very much. Let's take it back to Honorable Moss. Kindly introduce yourself to the team.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My apologies for being late. I was just held up in another meeting. My name is Andre Moss, and I'm also a member of this portfolio committee.
Thank you, Honorable Moss. You are also not late. We've been here on time, and we had reported that you are quickly concluding one of the portfolio committee meetings. Thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable MEC, like we have stated, this meeting is convened for two purposes: the report back on the intermodal facility, how far are you, and the report back on Mphephu. With an exception of the two items, HOD Masilu on, I love speed names, with the exception of the accidents and the status of the board. I believe it's very imperative that we do know what is happening there. But before we bring it to you, MEC, I must say we are elated as a portfolio committee. We went on an oversight to the intermodal facility in Mphephu. At Mphephu, we found what we found, and we had requested the department to deal with certain matters. And I must say we have received a letter and pictures, not only a letter, we've received pictures, MEC, that says the infrastructure, the way we have requested, honorable members, was adequately attended to, and that is effective and progressive oversight. If we were an institution of local government and you were the government department, would have seen a good example of intergovernmental relations. But I just want to pass this message to you that MEC, we really got joy with regards to the oversight that we overtook and the issues of what we had raised was adequately and thoroughly attended to, and thank you very much. Kudos to the team. Do please send that message to the people responsible, but I know that teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you very much, Honorable. Let me see, kindly take us through from item number 5, number 6, and number 7, and then you then bring it back to us.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Again, let me start by acknowledging the accolades that you have brought upon our shoulders this morning, to say thanks so much, because where credit is due, it has to be given. Honorable Chairperson, on the Thohoyandou Intermodal facility, the contractor was handed over last week on Tuesday, but I will take it to the HOD to take us through the entire process. Thanks, HOD.
Thank you, MEC. Good morning once again, Chairperson. Indeed, in terms of our pursuit to have the taxi rank fully functional, just so that it's able to really fulfill its original mandate, we have worked with Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, and IDT. There was a side handover last week. You would have seen the Premier was actually at the forefront of that particular process. And what is to follow together with the Public Works and IDT, there is going to be a clear project plan that indicates when are we then finalizing that particular project, and it will be followed. The process is that IDT will work, the project teams and some of the specialists from Public Works will do project oversight on the technical side, and everything else will then be brought to the Department of Transport to do the final verification of work done before we dispatch payments. We are going to follow the project plan as outlined, and there was determination that this project should be able to be finalized without fail. That is in relation to that. But there was an issue, Chairperson, of a court order. And let me indicate that when this project stalled many years ago, we took the contractor and the consultants to court, citing issues of defects that we were seeing there, and scope creep and the quality of work and overpayments in that regard. We went to court, and one of the things is that they had confiscated designs and drawings. The court ruled in our favor. There was a court order issued to them. However, they did not adhere to the court order in that they had given us wrong documentations. We've confirmed with the court that they did not give us the right documents. We ended up having to restart the processes, and that the cost to that effect would then be added into the monies that were claiming to them. The service provider came to us saying they would wish to settle out of court at some stages. And then we then, through our state attorney, wanted to understand the figures they're talking about, and we're not happy with the discussions. Then we're pursuing the matter through the courts. And we believe we'll get justice out of this one. This is just in relation to the issue of the quota. We can confirm now that there's currently a contempt from the service provider in relation to this very same matter. We're pursuing it through the state attorney. It is slow, and I don't know if it's the nature of how these cases are, but it's very slow. It's not moving at the pace that we are actually envisaging. Of course, the issue of the archives, I'm just going to pass this one just to indicate that this process was dealt with the provincial archives as the custodian of the entire policy and processes, and they were disposed at the Polokwane anti-waste depot in that regard. In relation to these reports, the two reports, I think this is what we have, Chairperson. I can quickly go to the additional two reports quickly. Let me start with the status of the GAL board as at current. Chairperson, we have extended the term of the term of office of the current board up until mid-December. We had advertised, and we were actually at the selection processes. The process was actually overseen by the Office of the Premier. However, there were discrepancies picked up to an extent that we are quickly doing a re-advertisement. It's going to be a short advert that we're going to deal with. Obviously, in our advertisement, we'll indicate that those who had applied before should not reapply, so that their applications can be reconsidered. Because we fear, Chairperson, that once you re-advertise in most cases, you may not attract the same people. Now you're going for second grade. So we want to still consider those that had applied already. Then that's the condition we're going to put. We'll do a short period advertisement, but it will be reasonable enough to attract those that may still want to apply. We're envisaging that end of November we should have done with, completed the selection process, so that we can use the first 2 weeks of December to do inductions and all related processes in that regard. Now, if I may go to the issue of the accident, Chairperson, it's a difficult one. It's a tough one, Chairperson, in that obviously by now we know that the accident happened on the 12th. It was a Sunday, approximately 16 hour. The bus that was traveling northbound just after Makado, 18 kilometers after Makado, an area, if members are familiar with the place, there's an Ingwe Lodge around that place. This bus was coming from Port Elizabeth, and it was destined for Zimbabwe and Malawi. It was actually ferrying passengers to Zimbabwe and Malawi. And of importance to note is that it was carrying 91 passengers, and it was towing a trailer, not those smaller trailers, those trailers that are almost the height of a bus. And in our preliminaries, we picked up that the bus has lost control. It is we call it a single vehicle accident that we then dealt with. No collision with any other vehicle, just alone. So what we picked up, then we attended the scene through our traffic officers. The EMS also arrived. Many other emergency services arrived, including the private sector also came. The Venetia mine also brought their own emergency equipment. There was a chopper also just to deal with first priority injuries that we pick up on site. But at the end of it all, 43 people lost their lives, and 48 sustained injuries. Of that, 18 were males, adults, 18 female adults also. And what is actually very disheartening is that we had 7 children that lost their lives there, 4 females and 4 females and 3 males in that regard. Now, we had to look at the nitty-gritties around the bus in terms of compliance matters, Chairperson. This bus has been registered in Zimbabwe, as it was confirmed by CBRTA, the cross-border agency that deals with that. And one issue is that it was grossly overloaded. This is a 60-seater capacity bus, and it was ferrying 91 passengers. And also you have that it was also pulling a trailer. And when you look at the condition there was just a lot of things that, a lot of luggages that came out of that bus. It was just a lot. And I think as the department, what we also looked at was to say, let's check the environmental conditions as part of our endeavor to understand the issues. Obviously, if you look at it, it's the N1, that area, the road descends from a mountain, sort of like, so it's quite a sharp steep that descends from the mountain about 400 to 500 meters. And that stretch is known by those who drive that area that you need to approach it with caution, maintain the lowest speed possible, particularly if you are pulling a trailer or you are overloaded. And what we're seeing is that the combination of that that steep descent and a curve that then introduces itself towards the end of that stretch may have been the cause. Because when it descends and at high speed, the trailer starts to take control of the bus. That is actually what happened when the driver wanted to negotiate a curve in that space. So we can also confirm that it wasn't raining. The weather conditions did not play any role in that. So because the bus lost control, we are doing further investigations. We have pulled in RTMC to deal with the issue of investigations. They've got specialists. They are to give us a preliminary report. It was to be 48 hours. I believe the report now is available in the office. And they're going to give us a 3-month report just to check if the mechanical failures and other related issues. Normally they also check the driver fatigue, but if you look at it, all the 3 drivers demised on the scene. That's the problem. So that we're going to get a report in 3 months. A case of culpable homicide has been opened with subs, so that we understand the whole issue around the whole matter. And internally in the department, the painful thing is that the question is then asked to say, if a bus is in an accident ferrying 91 passengers, how did it then pass the entire Maubane all the way to here? And this is the question that lingers in the HOD's head. And that question was asked by the Premier, the MEC asked the same thing, and the Minister also asked to say, how did it arrive here? My focus is not Gauteng, Northwest, and where it comes from. I think as a province, we are now, we have constituted an investigation internally. And what we are picking up preliminarily is that this bus went through Mansule, as we can see in our systems, the footage. We can see that the bus again went through Zebediela, and the footages are there. And preliminarily again, we're picking up issues, and I'm just going to share that we can see that the reports are showing that there was a little bit of an indication that something is wrong with the front axle of the bus. Of course, in terms of the weight, it was found to be weighing 35,000 kg gross, and the maximum that is allowed is 42,000. Because you understand that when you count passengers and you have children in there, they may not really matter more in terms of the load, especially because when this bus left PE, the passenger manifest or the passenger list said 69, but here it's 91. So what then came into our minds is that the driver was actually loading along the way, and the preliminary reports, as I was indicating, showed some sort of discrepancies, and then someone let it go. And it's something that we are looking at as the department. We're doing investigations to say, how did that happen? And obviously, if you look at it, Chairperson, we feel like if Mampa Gale was actually working, perhaps it could have actually gone in there and we could have actually caught it. But because Mampa Gale, because of OH's issues, because of the delays in just getting the construction done, it's not functional. Instead, the officers are always on the roadside, but they are really focusing on these buses. Even the subs members, they are on the roads focusing on these buses, and subs is also looking at their own registers to say who stopped this bus and why didn't they pick it up? That is that grossly overloaded. But also, Chairperson, as I conclude, what we're picking up is that those who died, because to do identifications, we then rely on the friends and families who were on board that are still alive and the families that then come. One resident of, one foreign national from Zimbabwe then came and started to inquire that a friend of his had boarded that bus at the circle of Makado, and he wanted to know, where is this friend? Unfortunately, the friend had passed on. It really shows that they continue to load. The owner can can account for 69. But the driver would then have a runner outside, looking at the entire corridor and loading. But I think what we're saying, the lessons we're picking up is that we need to amplify our inspections. Over and above the way bridges, there shouldn't be lapse of concentration when we're dealing with our procedures. Because what we're picking up is that most of the time, the routine is that officers will then request for a driver's license, the permit, they will look at the vehicle, they do the K53 inside. They don't do head count inside the bus. And it's something that we're saying should then happen. It should not be something that we then overlook going forward. In the main, this is where we are. The Department of Health, together with SAPS, are then looking into issues of postmortems, issues of identifications. They're almost done. And then repatriations will then start from next week. We have a task team, chairperson, that on a daily basis, 16-hour, we sit just to check how far are we with regard to the processes of identifications, processes of ensuring the families are able to come and do identifications, and also issues of postmortems that will come later, and it's actually in pursuit, and repatriation that will come later. In other challenges, unlike the Mamatlakale bus accident, those people were going to church, all of them knowing one another. In this case, we have passengers that really don't know one another. Other family members have not come through. We're working with the consulates from Malawi and Zimbabwe just to try and deal with this matter. But the other challenge is that we have got family members that don't have documents to come this side. Then Department of Health has created a photo album so that they then do identifications through the digital means. And while they're sorting out documentations, then we'll deal with that as we proceed. It's an issue that currently we're just working on trying to assist Malawi and Zimbabwe just to have smooth repatriation processes. I think this is where we are in terms of the accident. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, HOD. And let's then quickly take the PR Mphephu. Just, we know the background, we know the purpose, we know the objectives. We want to know, since our last meeting, where are we and where are we going? Tangible proposals, Advocate Lambert. I don't know, HOD, who's presenting? Is it the CEO? All right.
Thank you, Chairperson. In terms of where we are since the last meeting and the way forward, we have actually taken a two-pronged approach in terms of how we are going to deal with the airport. So we have dealt with the plans in terms of two phases. And the reason we are doing that is because in our discussions, we looked at the uncertainties in terms of ownership, in terms of land and the airport. And we realized that as an entity and the department, if we spend any money at this stage at that airport, we might have audit issues where AG is going to raise irregular expenditure because of the fact that the asset is not sitting in our asset register. So in terms of what we are doing currently, the first thing that we committed to do is to go do a cleanup at the airport, cutting grass, tree felling and sweeping the runway. We initially planned to do it through the Department of Transport, EPWP, but we engaged Public Works, and they have gone to site, they have done an inspection to determine what instrument is needed to clean up the airport. And from Monday the 20th, Public Works will be on site to go clean, cut the grass, cut the trees, and clean the airport. The second thing that we were requested to do is to get BMA and SARS so that we can have immigration and customs. We have written letters to both agencies. Unofficially, they have responded to say they are still going to discuss this at the BMA commissioner level, but the preview that they've given us is that because the airport is not a port of entry, those services cannot be taken to that airport unless if there's a special movement that will be happening on a specific day where we can make an application for such, but they will respond to us officially. The other thing that we have done is in terms of land ownership clarification, we are, GAL and the department, we are in consultation with the Department of Public Works. And as we are discussing, information has come up that the land that the airport is on actually doesn't belong to Public Works. It's still under rural development. So there's still that triangle that we need to deal with in terms of clarifying that ownership. And then in terms of SEPs, we have also written a letter to SEPs. Firstly, we wrote to border police because they are the ones that deal with the airports, but they have referred us to the provincial commissioner. So we have written to the provincial commissioner and we are waiting for response. And Chairperson, the other stuff that we still are yet to do is to go and visit the traditional leader. And the purpose of the visiting the traditional leader is so that we can request that they have community meetings to talk to them about using the airport as a walkthrough. We have given ourselves a target for that this must be done by December 2025. We are also yet to speak to current airport users, which we also say we will do by December. And the other thing that we are currently busy with is to talk to SNDF because they reside on almost the same land. We have requested them that they can assist with reinforcing security at the airport. So we've started with the engagements, but we don't have a final memorandum of understanding in place. The two issues that we have not yet dealt with is the issue of the assessment and costing for the fence, and an issue with ATNS putting their equipment to monitor traffic that side. And the reason we haven't dealt with that yet is because we want to deal with the ownership issue so that when we invest in the airport, we are certain that it would not raise an audit finding. And but however, with ATNS, although they don't have equipment there, they are still able to give us a report from the traffic monitoring from Polokwane. Then, Chairperson, when we have done that, we would be able to just give basic safety and security services and make sure that there's maintenance at the airport. So the plan with the cutting is that they will cut, but then we will use our EPWP at some point with Department of Transport to do the maintenance of the grass and the trees. And then the second phase that we are looking at is that once the land issues are clarified, we will then follow through and complete the request for proposal that we had advertised to get an investor at the airport. And we will follow through all the processes in terms of contracting for PPP. And the funding model that we are looking at is the invest, operate, and at a later stage, once they have gotten their return on investment, they can then transfer back to government or back to GAL. Thank you, Chair. That is the progress on the PRMPEP.
Thank you very much. MEC, is there anything you would want to make as an addition, or you are covered by the HOD?
I'm covered by both of them, the HOD and the C.
No problem. Honorable members, that is where we are, the status of the Intermodal facility and the status of the Mphephu. Any input? Honorable Moss? Honorable Shai? Honorable Dunani?
No, thanks, Chair. Also nothing from my side, but I thought maybe when you said they must brief us about the accident, maybe the HOD was also going to touch on that accident that happened there by Schopo there. So unless if maybe you were specifically on that one.
You are pardoned, it's a Friday, it's understandable.
Yeah, other than that, no, I'm fine.
Okay, Honorable Nenguda.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to appreciate the rapid response by our colleagues, the MEC, Honorable MEC, the Premier and other MECs. Immediately they heard about the accident, they responded very quickly. So we really appreciate how you did it. And one other thing, when the HOD was reporting, unless otherwise if I didn't catch him well, there is an issue of around the luggages that according to the media reports, we are told a lot of medical medicines, tablets and everything were found there. And I think as a department, together with perhaps the Department of Health and other entities that are, of course, involved, we need to do thorough inspection, because otherwise you might find every time when these buses, when these trucks are moving from South Africa to Zimbabwe or to the rest of the Central African states, they are carrying all these facilities from our hospitals. I think there we need to be very strong in curbing that tendency. I'm also happy that the HOD also indicated that we don't know what happened, more especially the effectiveness of our way bridges, you know. Like you have indicated, HOD, that investigations are going on, because we rely on those way bridges too, as well as on our personnel, subs and other entities that are part of. However, I would also like to suggest that from the side of the department, I think you need to have some recommendations, particularly around that area. It's an accident zone. What do we do? Because every time accidents of that nature are taking place, what do we do? Are we to reinforce by perhaps constructing strong barricades just to safeguard maybe all the trucks and every vehicle from falling down the steep valleys? What do we do? How are we supposed to conscientize our drivers so that every driver, when coming through that zone, must be conscious enough when it comes to speed limit and other, you know, issues that needs to be considered by drivers? I think we need to have some recommendations of that nature to avoid future accidents, because we're still going to experience such. It's not for the first time. I had, I think it's day before yesterday, another accident took place at the same spot, you see. So it is an indication that something needs to be done to conscientize our drivers, because that area is very dangerous. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Monama. Thank you, Honorable Mankwana. It's a Friday.
I just remember something. MEC, sometimes I agree we have to you know, things will be coming in the different comments and so on. Can you, I don't know if you are not able to confirm now, maybe later we would, because there's some, they are saying those people, passengers in the bus did not have the right documents to be in South Africa. So the legality of them being in South Africa being carried through our routes, whether you are able to give us an answer now or maybe later as you get reports, whether that is true or not. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Just 2 comments. The one on Mphephu. There was the query was in the Portfolio Committee of Health about the people landing on Mphephu. And this is actually very interesting, and it's actually a very good compliment for the department, because there's an NGO, Flight for Life, They bring in medical doctors from everywhere, from Rand Central, from Lanseria, and they actually land there, and you can check the times. 7:10 they land, then they go to Donald Fraser and they do the operations, whatever they do, and then just after 4 they fly back. So for them it's really, if we don't have that airport, those people cannot be treated. So for us, I think that is really some, Chairperson, this is really something it's very good for the community that that facility actually exists. If we can patch it up and make it legal and get it safe, if we do all those things, that is really very valuable. So I just want to say that the department is really doing something commendable, because without that, those people will not have that services. So as far as the accident is concerned, that road is there forever. I grew up in that area. So for the past 150 years, that was a sharp bend. It's always there. What I think we must do is we must do what happened in Magubas Kloof. They put that cement blocks, those very big cement blocks around the corner. Then even you can write off your car, but you cannot damage, you are safe, you can't go over. So maybe that's the first thing we must do. Remember that curve, there are 2 downward stretches. From Witvlag Road, you come down, then you have the first curve, and then there's a very steep decline to the second curve. So I think, I don't know if we can put speed humps on the N1. Last time they said we can't. But I think in this case, maybe we must consider, even if it's just this tar ones, that is not a speed hump, just to slow them down. See, yeah, those strips. I think that's important, and I think it's important that there must be a signboard warning people that there's a very sharp curve coming. Because it's not the first accident, and it's not going to be the last one. And I think we must really make sure that we look into that. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. It's the rubble strips, Honorable Hell. That is Mankwana's favorite item in the Department of Transport, the rubble strips. Is that correct, HOD Mashil? That should say we are paying attention. We are not just letting you speak. We are paying attention and learning new things that we do not know. Maybe the first one that Honorable Helm raised is the issue of the cement blocks. The N1 it belongs to Sanral, right? It will then mean there must be discussion at the level of the MEC and the HOD, just to highlight, particularly because we are going to the festive seasons. It's going to be a mess. And luckily, you are the one that raised it, HOD, the issue that, and I'm worried about this, the kilograms that is permissible on our roads. Because they will say it's 40, 32, 35 vis-a-vis 42. Then the law enforcement officers will say the bus was incompliant because the size of the bus and the trailer did not exceed 42 kilograms. But are we safe really on our roads? We are not. And this is something that even if we want to change, it might take a year, 2 years, given the red tapes, but it then says, MEC, and HOD, the men and women in your brown uniform should get down to business, Manana Mat. If the traffic officers will be vigilant, because festive season is coming, I know we'll not meet for the second quarter until the following year, but we are going to meet for festive seasons. Maybe when we are meeting for that festive season, HOD, just look at, we have done well for Easter. And we wouldn't want issues of, because we could see already it's a sitting time bomb. If we are going to look at the weight vis-a-vis people that are in the car, we need a serious agent assistance from both the traffic officers of the provincial government and the municipalities. That intergovernmental relation process that you did, MEC, when we're going to Easters, it must be effected. And I think we should also send condolences to the people that lost their lives and young children. And now it's impossible for us to be able to know whom are these people that were in the past because they were not documented. It then says when we go for Easters, when we're going to sit in that meeting, we should now maybe involve issues of immigration team. We should not leave them out. We should not only have transport, municipalities, SAPS. Let's also invite immigration in that meeting. In terms of planning for festive seasons, we are definitely going to need that, particularly that we are the exit to African countries. Also on the other side, we're an exit to Botswana and them, so we really need a seriously enforced plan that you had utilized over the festive season, Easter. we need to do that. And luckily for you, HOD, you answered most of the questions that we had written down in terms of the size, in terms of where were your officers, and but truth be told, we are really impressed, MEC. We do not want to only sit here and bash you. But even where you are doing right things, we ought to say it. People might say, why do you praise a fish for swimming? That is not the case. Why are we here to play an oversight when you don't do right things, we are on you? Even when you do correct things, we'll talk about it. So that is just that. And the last thing that you forgot that is very pertinent is the issue of the board of GAL. We need to know about that. Let's not allow it to slip through our fingers. And the payment certificates with regards to IDT, ZIDT. You reported here, HOD, that you are going to check before you release all payment certificates. Maybe let's also check if you are able to capacitate the department in terms of expertise. So you don't just approve, somebody says this is it, having built, but you don't know what is inside. So maybe if you are able to get a professional body or a person that is in the department, I don't know what is the case, how are you going to get that person, but just to get a second opinion with regard to people that have expertise, technical know-how, just so IDT don't just say we are done. When you get there, you see a beautiful wall. There's a lot of things that goes inside walls and infrastructure projects and steels and all those things. Maybe let's do that so you don't approve a payment. They say a building is done. Tomorrow, there's a challenge. We raised this matter, IDT. This point is to you. We raised it in our last meeting. I believe all honorable members raised it, and we are raising it because we are here, MEC. Structural integrity. The Department of Public Works through the MEC, his HOD, Pukunsi, and IDT said to us that the structure is okay, the defects that were mentioned, they are fine, so they put their head on the block. I'm saying this, HOD, so you know, just in case anything that we do not even wish for it to happen, it's on the head of the department and IDT. I carry that is the view. That's what they said to us, Honorable Mankwa, when we spoke about structural integrity. I'm representing you quite well, ne, IDT? Exactly. I'm raising this again today so we know you are committed. Your MEC is here of transport. We are also passing that particular message. But where we are, MEC, I believe that we are on the right track. And honorable members, the oversight was not futile. It was not a futile exercise because now there's spade and boots on the ground. What is left is for us to be able to know the way forward. And I'm sitting here with a title deed of the airport. I'm going to share it with you, MEC and CEO. The land, I'm told, belongs to the municipality of Makado. I think it was donated in 1968, Louis Richard or something. You have to check the authenticity of the title deed. If that is correct, it has cut down a lot of issues that are moved to 2026. I'll share it with you, MEC, so you can share it with the colleagues, because we are not only here to bash you, we are also here to check where can we support in terms of the people of Limpopo receiving that we had promised them over every election period. MEC, just kindly talk to us about the issues of the board, then it will bring us to item number 8, closure.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. I thought the HOD have touched on it to say we have re-advertised the board, then we extended the board, the current board we have extended until mid-December. So from there, we'll be waiting for the others to apply to see whether they qualify or not, because going through the list, we found that the people that we need are not there. So we're still inviting those that we think can apply and be part of the board. So we'll take it from there. And the other issue, Chairperson, on the issue of legality of the people that were inside the bus. The only list that we're having is about the 69 that were registered at Port Elizabeth. But on the scene, according to the police who were down there were many documents, the IDs and everything, which we didn't see because it was with the police. So the issue of them being legal or illegally in the country, it will be the report from the SAPS. But out of the 91 people that were inside the bus, we account for 82. Because 9, after everything, they just decided to go. They didn't reach our hospitals. Yes, that's what's happening always where there's an accident. Those who will not be injured that much, they go. So because it was during the night, after everything, they just decided to go. So we are, in the country, we account for 82. 91, 9 of them never reached our hospitals. So we'll take it from there to say we're waiting for the final report from the SAPS and the Department of Health so far. Because when we arrive in each and every hospital, we'll ask whether the people that were admitted did bring identification of some form of legal documentations. Then they will say, yes, this and this has brought, but this they don't have. So we'll take it from there to say how many people are having documents that are legal in our country. So far that's what we have as an answer to the legality of the people that were inside the bus. So about everything that you have told us, the signage, the cement blocks and everything, myself and the HOD were having a meeting yesterday after we have observed something during those 3 days. He tried to act like a traffic cop on Monday by trying to stop a taxi, which was like when the taxi was going that way, the trailer was going that other way. So at the same place. So he tried to stop them, but when we came back, the taxi was gone, you know, showing that there's something which we don't know, but we are still investigating. So we are not just sitting, we are picking each and every information that we get from the public that can help us in making sure that during December time, we don't see those things happening again. On the issue of Sekgopo, HOD, if you can brief them about the report, yes, we do have the final report. Thanks so much, Chairperson.
HOD?
Yeah, I will just be short. Chair, maybe before I go to Sekgopo, just to appreciate the issue that the scene was chaotic. It was just everything everywhere. And some patients would have left the scene under very difficult conditions. So there were just documentations all around. We just need to be saying we cannot tell now who was legal and who was not legal. The medication, that issue was sent to SAPS for opening an inquiry. We've got to appreciate that at this point in time, we do not have the regulations on how medication moves, because it was packed nicely to show that this is someone who may be running a pharmacy there. As to whether it was procured, because now people have demised some of them, we don't have documentations, no one can ask no one. So we decided not to jump into conclusions on anything. And if you look at that road, I think one of the things we'll invite Sandral, just maybe also the rumble strips, maybe before that stretch. But if you look at it, all our roads, where there is a challenge or it can challenge the driver, there's a sign to say it's going to be having a curve, and it also stipulates the speed limit that you've got to really be at. But what we're picking up, Chairperson, these buses that are going across, they are really overspeeding, most of them. It's something that is a worry. If you look at the trailers themselves, the overloading is a lot, and they think if you catch them and they have to be penalized, they think it's okay that they can load like that because they will pay for it. And now we need to really look into our legislation and start to say, if we catch you, right there, you stop.
Exactly.
So it's something that we're looking at. But we have invested now in a campaign in the department where we're talking to the radio stations to be our mouthpiece in terms of the issue of the head-on collisions that we have now, in terms of overloaded trucks and buses. And what we're seeing is especially that area, that environment. If you are a company owner, you hire an inexperienced driver. That is actually where the problem is, because then they cannot be able to handle such conditions, and we'll look at that. Sekgopo on its own, there we've had all 12 occupants of a taxi that was coming from church, demising all of them after they've been sandwiched by 2 trucks. What happened is that it was a steep also, and the truck that was behind, firstly, lost control, there was a buggy. Fortunately, it veered off the road, no issues. That is actually where we managed to get a lot of information, because they managed to then give us information. The truck continued to hit the taxi from the rear. When the taxi was hitting the truck that was in front, the truck followed up. Hit the taxi again against the truck in front, and also climbed on top of it. So it actually reduced it to nothing, because you look at it from that point. But our preliminaries were that the driver was no longer in control of that particular truck. Either it failed brakes, or it was overwhelmed by the load, because it is a truck that carries bricks. And once you have that, an inexperience of a driver comes in. So we have also opened a case of culpable homicide. It is now being pursued by subs in that area, and we should have this driver locked up when the processes are done. It's one area, I mean, this is one accident that was very difficult for us to have the people removed from that particular wreckage. So it was a painful one, and thanks to the municipality, there was a mass funeral, and everything really went very, very well. And lastly, Chair, on the issue of the payment certificates, we have a value chain. Public Works remain in the middle. They're the ones who are managing the project. They're doing project management. They're doing quality assurance together with their engineers. And the project team, after it has signed off the work that has been done, we will only do verification in terms of looking at the progress and then effect payments. But we rely on Public Works quite extensively in terms of doing QA and ensuring that everything is according to the book. I think that is actually what I wanted to submit. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, HOD Masilu. Just last, as a parting shot, MEC, is there no possibility that during the preparation for the festive season campaigns, where you bring in your SAPS, you bring in your law enforcement officers at the level of the municipalities and immigration, are you not able to get a biometric system, a machine that as a province you can procure, or you can get, I don't know who can, or maybe from the this new committee, what do they call it, this border management, where they can give you a biometric, people that are crossing all borders, all borders that we have in a province, people can just be scanned just for data capturing. Is that not possible? If we look at the time now, even if it's not a procurement machine HOD, I know you might know people that can assist a province with this. Even if it's what, they borrow the province until Easter, so you can collect as much data, particularly in terms of fingerprints. It will not only assist our roads, but it will assist the province in terms of criminality, that we are unable to identify whom is these people. Are we not able to do that? Just take that home as a food for thought, HOD. Don't respond to me, MEC, now. Look at the possibility of us as a province having that biometric, just for the purpose of harvesting data for people that are coming and leaving our province. Agri festive, everybody is going home. Whether you are here legal or not, everybody is going to go home. If you can be able to capture all of these people, then you know that we have them in our systems. It will assist us not only in our roads, but in terms of criminality, we'll know whom are these people. Look at it, HOD. I know you might come back to us within a week with good and positive input. Honorable members, I think I don't even think, I know we have done justice, and I'm happy with the progress, both at the Intermodal and at the PR Mphephu. It says the oversight of this committee has yielded good results, and we'll be observing, MEC will keep on embarking on oversights that we think it's in the best interest. We know that is in the best interest of the people of this province. As and when we meet for festive season, HOD Masilu, come back prepared, report to us. You went to a private launch of an airline in Hoedspruit. How is it going to benefit us as a province? Is the airline going to come to Gateway? It's not for today. It's for you to take it home. We want to know, because you missed one meeting. They said you went to launch an airline somewhere. So we want to know, how are we benefiting as a province? Is Gateway also going to benefit on that airline? Let's then see. It's not for this meeting. It's a take home. When we meet for festive season, we want to know particularly of that airline on behalf of the people of this province. But where we are so elated, MEC. The progress that we see in the department and with the entity GAL, let's keep it going. Let's maintain that. And sometime we are not going to leave this meeting very happy. All of you will be very angry, but that will be on behalf of the people of this province. And like we said, where you are doing right things, equally as a portfolio committee will come and say to you, kudos MEC and your team. We see improvement, we see work moving on behalf of the people of this province. And on that note, that brings us to the end of this meeting. May you have yourself a blessed weekend with your families, and may the good Lord keep and bless you, including the good people of the province of Limpopo.